Hello, hello, hello. We can't see you.
Hello,
We
everybody.
can't see you, Stag. You gotta adjust your camera. All we can see is a
Oh
microphone.
man, I gotta go out of this. Hold on. It's gonna make me small.
We can
That's
see you.
okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, just well, you gotta turn your camera upside. You to the side now. Hey, everybody. Well, welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Proud Mary podcast. I am Monique J. And
And I'm Stag.
And we are here today. You know our motto. We give it to you nice when we can and rough when we must. Well, today we got a show for you. It's going to be probably a little bit more rough than nice today because we're going to be touching on some stuff that needs to be talked about. And you know us, we're going to give it to you raw. We're going to talk honestly about it, whatever we feel, however we think, as well as we definitely want to make sure that we educate you and give you some information on some things you didn't know. So,
Mhm.
our first, well, what you got to say, Stack? How your week been? Let's give the people some chance to get in here
Busy.
before we just hop on into to everything.
It's been busy, but a good week. A good week. I'm good. I can't complain. I won't complain.
You won't. That's
Um,
right.
that's it. I won't complain. How's your week been, Miss Mo?
Ooh, child, it's been interesting. It's been busy. It's been all of the things. Is it showing that we are live? Let me make sure it's showing we live because it's. I see we live, but can you? Are you looking at us on YouTube?
Oh no, that's what I meant to do. Hold on.
Because I don't see it
Mm-mm-mm.
saying we live, and I want to make sure.
Mm, 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 mm.
Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. All
It's been
right.
a rough day, y'all. You see, my hair is all wow.
Welcome everybody though. How's everybody doing? As you come in, do us a big favor. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be alerted to when we are live and when we release some of our nice our good videos that are sparking a ton of conversation and a ton of comments. Them people better
I
get.
know them Somalians mad.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah, they mad. They is mad at you, sister. When I say they are mad at you, they are mad
They can
at
stay
you.
mad.
What you say?
It make them even more mad.
They can stay mad. Huh? I look, hey, I ain't mad at you. That you absolutely right. Um, let's see. So what are we starting out today? I think what did we have? We had first. We had Nicki Minaj. So
Mm.
let's see. Hold on before we do that, because we gonna go. We gonna this is politics and trending topics. So let's flip a little flip it around a little bit and let's put we are gonna this is a mixture. So this is going to be trending topics and a little politics mixed into one. And of course, we have to talk about our girl. Oh, Nicki Minaj, she is stirring up some controversy.
Are the Barb's mad?
I don't know if the Barbs are mad or if the people, the fake Barbs, are mad. You know. But did you get a
Mm-hmm.
chance to see her at the talk to Erica Kirk at the Am Fest?
Mm-hmm. I didn't get to see it, but I will watch it later. So I didn't get to see. Tell me about it, Mo, because I didn't get to see it.
Well, and I'm gonna play. We'll get a little clip in. Probably I'll try to find the one that made everybody the most mad. Yeah, actually, I will do that. She talked about how much she admired President Trump, how much she admired JD Vance, and that she was so glad that they were in office, and how basically they are focusing on the things that that are important to everybody. She feels that they can relate to the older people, the middle aged people, and the younger people can relate to them. She was saying she really loved how, of course, he was standing up for the Christians in Nigeria. And,
Mm-hmm.
Erica, of course, asked her about, just how does she feel knowing that she's gonna be getting put down or getting talked about in her industry, and people aren't gonna not liking that she is doing something like this. And she was like, she ain't know they was talking about her, and nor do she care. It's basically what she was saying. What they think is not important to her. So I was like, I feel that, because the reality of it is, I know for me, I went to Instagram, and I'm gonna show you some because I know you haven't seen it yet. I went to Instagram, and I had um watched, and how you have your I call them the talking heads. Those people
Mm-hmm.
who, you can count on them popping out and popping up to say something, either when they can race bait. So say something happened like a George Floyd or this and that, or something like this, another race baiting type of situation where they are talking about black people not doing right for black people. Cause now you got
Mm-hmm.
Tamika Mallory, you got DL Hughley said something stupid, uh, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, and then Tyrese actually had posted on his Instagram, like, just hear her out, just hear her out, hear her out. A lot of people, he said, like, a lot of people feel like this. And
Mm-hmm.
people was on there
Mm.
saying she's stupid. She ain't got no room to talk. She with a pedophile, her brother a pedophile. She just wanting she think Trump gonna get her brother off. I mean, just all kind of
What?
stuff. Oh yeah, they been going in on her.
Mm.
When
Well,
I
good thing she doesn't care much for what people say. She's not
mm-hmm,
one of those people who really thinks about what other people say, so she
mm-hmm.
don't care.
She haven't. She
But
doesn't.
the shocking thing is that you had Tyrese. Is that who you said to hear her
Mm-hmm.
out?
Yeah.
And she had some good points. Is that what he said? Oh, they're gonna be coming for
He
him
I
next.
don't he didn't say she got some good points. He said a lot of people feel the same way. That
Oh yeah, a lot of people feel that way. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, so but yeah, I'm gonna mute real quick. You can talk, tell me what you think, what is your views on always, I mean, when I say if well, I am a gambling woman. If they had a bet for that, to say you bet if black Americans, black celebrities, black people of status are going to do the exact same thing anytime somebody talks against or talks for Republicans, say something good for Trump and against Democrats, you can count on them to all come out and now get on the bandwagon with trying to destroy that person. What is your thoughts on that?
I think that it is. It shows that they are not free thinkers, right? And they don't believe. Hey, Mary, they don't believe in freedom of speech, freedom of thought, individuality. And to me, it shows that they are brainwashed, right? Because for what? Right? People, we're not allowed to have our own political opinions or see things and feel like they are in our own interest. And when you speak in politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would ask, what is it that this party, what have they done to get them such blind loyalty? And the loyalty to the point where they will put down other black people who don't vote like them or think like they do. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really weird to me because a lot of them are ignorant of all of the issues. So for you to get mad at somebody for supporting the party that they think suits their best interest, And a lot of them are really politically ignorant and don't really know what it is that they're standing for over there on that party. It's really, it's just ignorant to me, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hey,
I,
honey.
I 100% agree. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just let you see, cause let you get a little sneak peek of
Hmm.
of I'm gonna come in at my favorite, one of my favorite parts, and she's talking about. Okay, she's talking what she did. Nicki Minaj, and I'll just give a quick little backstory because we'll have to stop it, and just so we don't have any copyright claims or something. But Nicki Minaj actually had did some tweets to Gavin Newsom, and she asked Nicki to read, in Nicki's voice, Nicki's the her tweets. So I'm gonna mute this mic and turn on the other one so you guys can hear. Please put in the chat if
Okay.
you guys can't hear anything.
Hey, Tim.
Hold on.
I'm gonna.
Can y'all hear? Hold on. What has been maybe the biggest surprise for you, or something that you just really has been put on your heart that you've learned about our president and our vice president?
Well, the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He he has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. He's from Queens, New York, like me. So, but what it's shown me personally is sometimes, even in the worst feeling times in your
Your take on that first little part, little segment, what she said. What did you think? What you think about what she said about Gavin Newsom and her exact thoughts on Donald Trump? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Stag, can you hear me? Looks like Stag may be frozen. Can you guys in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. I feel like Stag is frozen. She's gonna have to probably request a call back in. Let me see. You heard me? Hey, I see you, Yonky. I think Stag is froze. Hold on, guys. Let me Stag is froze on my end. You all can hear Stag talking? Give me a second, guys. Stag, if you can hear me, I'm gonna drop you and bring you right back. Come on right back up. All right, guys. So give us a second. Get Stag back in here. Come back, call back in. I don't know what that was. She froze over here on this end. And what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna pin our where you can come in and join the show. We're gonna do that after we finish talking about the Nicki Minaj and how everybody is trying to cancel her and everything, and now all of the. All right, Stag, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, Stag? Yes. All
Yeah.
right, you back. I don't know what that was, but hey,
No, we're good.
we are yeah, but hey, we got people in. Hey, if you are in here, you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when we are live again. Please share this out to your friends, your family. You can share it on in text message, TikTok, whatever you can do. Share it out because we about to have this is just the beginning. And we kind of real chill right now, but this is just the beginning of this good conversation we're gonna have. So now, yeah, tell me what
Uh,
you think, when you
So
heard her,
I
what she
was
said.
pleasantly surprised, and in
So
today's
I
political
was
climate,
pleasantly
it is.
surprised, and in
I
today's
hear
political
feedback.
climate,
You got a speaker
it
on or
is.
something? No.
I hear
It's I was pleasantly surprised, and in today's political climate, that was very courageous of her to express that level of appreciation for our president, right? So that means the way that the words that she uses, she ready for the smoke because she know
Yep,
it's gonna come, right? She ready for it,
yep.
and for her to boldly say, what she said about him is refreshing, and hopefully others will see uh how good it is on the other side and follow suit and stop, faking it for that other party. That's all.
Hmm.
I mean, because she had some really good things to say. Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised. I don't
Yep.
know if you saw me over here dancing when she was like,
Ah, I
our,
saw you. I saw
she
you.
made it clear, our president. Okay. I love it.
And it's crazy because when I promise you, everybody, instead of them feeling and saying like, oh, this is somebody who is thinking for themselves. She was making sense or any of that. People immediately went to, she must, she must be trying to get her brother out of prison. Like, and it's just like I'm like, y'all are just so not smart. I don't get it. And then if I and then matter of fact, I'm gonna pull up a little bit so you to hear DL Hughley. Now, mind you, he got the nerve to be trying to talk about her and what she was doing, and like why she shouldn't even be around and have nobody around, no kids and all this kind of stuff. Mind you, he is the man who daughter told him that his friend had done something to her, and he wasn't
Mhm.
even listening, and he didn't even trust
Yep.
his, trust his daughter. So how dare you think you have the audacity to try to say something about her and what
Hmm.
she's saying and doing.
He think we forgot he said that. That's what it is. He think we forgot. I ain't never forget. I used to go during Trump's first term.
Hmm.
I used to go into his under his videos, and I would leave the link to that interview that he did with Sway where he said that in his in his comments. And I would say just that. I was like, you couldn't even protect your own daughter for your friend. So yeah, he's a slime ball.
And then when somebody said that, the somebody was like, well, he apologized to,
Allegedly.
right, exactly. Exactly. Click this link. They was like, well, he apologized and this and that. I said, you see, now y'all see how you so quick to try to sweep something under the rug when it's somebody that you like and an apology is good enough. But when it's not somebody you like, then apology ain't enough. Whatever they say, they lying. It's like y'all are. I don't know, Stag. I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, Miss Good, I see you down there. You made it on over here.
It.
I just think that D.L. Hughley, Ricky Smiley, and all of them need to just sit down somewhere because they
Mm-hmm.
are the ones who are leading. people astray with all their lies and gaslighting and fear mongering. And they're ignorant too. Ricky Smiley don't know shit. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Ricky Smiley don't know nothing.
Tamika, I hate to say Tamika, but too, she could sit down somewhere, cause they ain't nowhere.
Oh
They
yeah,
ain't
Tamika
nowhere to be
Mallory,
found.
she is just riding the wave of the Black Lives Matter stuff. She got a bunch of endorsements by Cadillac and all of that, and she collected money. It's profitable for
Mm-hmm.
her to be the character that she is pretending to be right now. It's profitable.
But she doesn't. She doesn't show up. She doesn't show up when it's blacks doing anything to blacks, and that's where I can't respect her. Because if you really
Hmm.
care about our community, then you, since you feel like the community listens to you, you should be talking directly to the community about what the community is doing.
You
Period.
know what? Speaking of that, did you hear about the leader of Black Lives Matter? I forget which city it is. She was just indicted
I'm sure.
for embezzling money.
I'm sure. I ain't shocked
Yeah,
at all.
another one, embezzling money. So where is Tamika Mallory on talking about that since she was such a vocal person for
Rolling
Black Lives
alongside of
Matter?
them, and ain't neither one of the people was foundational Black Americans who was the founders of BLM in the first place. It's
Mhm.
always,
They
it's
didn't even mean it.
always.
They made y'all think that that's what they was talking about, but that used to be a group called Black Lesbians Matter or some shit. I'm
Oh my
sorry, or
God.
something. And they never were talking about Black lives, really,
Mm-mm.
right? So that's why they like to use the acronym, the BLM, because they were really talking about their own organization, and they was full of a bunch of carpet munching, you
Right,
know.
because that's what they were. Well, let me play the guys a little bit more and finish this up for you in a few more minutes, and then you can let me know what you think. Hold on, let me mute. Hold on, let me mute. Mute. Unmute.
That funny. Until you are in that person's shoes that's being lied on, you'll never understand what it feels like. That person is a human being. They have a family who has to read those lies. And that's not, and it's just not fair. Um, but this administration is full of people with heart and soul. And they make me proud of them. Our vice president, he makes me, well, I love both of them, but they're both powerful men, smart, strong, all of that, but both of them have a very uncanny ability to be someone that you relate to. I can relate to them. When I hear them speak, I know that they're one of us. Like, I know that they're not. Don't you guys agree? They haven't they haven't lost they haven't lost touch of the world. You know, they're still connected to the world and what's happening in the world, with the younger people and older people, with the richer people and not so rich people. They have the ability to still connect and be real and make us feel proud to be American. So why now?
Stag, thoughts? I can't hear you.
I was muted
Oh.
because I was eating them olives. The the I'm proud of her for courageously, voicing her opinion and recognizing who the president and vice president really are by saying that they are really connected to what's going on, because these other politicians are so far removed
Mm-hmm.
from the American people and the people in the world. They're rubbing elbows with the leaders, but they're forgetting about the people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're out of touch, way out of touch with what everyday people actually deal with, go through. I bet you they can't even tell you what a gallon of milk costs.
Yeah, you.
But they're, I just want, but I'm proud of her for voicing her real opinions and feelings and
Mhm.
doing it so boldly. Bravo, Nikki.
Yes, yes, yes. I 100% agree. What you say? Watch it.
Look, tell me if you can hear mine. Hold on, because I have never had heard it before.
Yankee
Could you
said
hear it?
no.
Okay, because I can hear it in my headphones. It's just for me. I'll
Yankee.
applaud myself.
I've lied. Look, Yankee said, had she worn a pantsuit, I might believe she was sincere. Now, what's interesting that Yankee says that because when I was watching it, I actually felt like, look at her dressing nice and like a lady. See, this is what Kamala should have looked at and seen when she has rappers and people come. They should look like nice women and nice like. I don't know. I mean, Yankee, of course, I would love. I don't know why you would think she needs to have pants on, and she had on a nice little to the knee dress. I'm just want to know what that would be. What you think, Stag?
Was
Did it
that dress
matter?
to the knees? I saw a lot of leg.
Yeah, that's where right where her hand is where the end of the dress is.
Oh, okay. She was
And
dressed a little more conservatively.
yes, and I actually respect the fact that she intentionally she kept her legs crossed like that. She actually kept herself turned away, like because she was moving around and shifting. Because of course, when your legs cross, your legs start hurting. So even the way that
Hmm
she was shifting and twisting like a lady. I was paying attention to that kind of stuff while she was on there. But I,
Okay, now.
yeah, yes. Now, so but my thing is, I have this is just something that I have a problem with. I have a problem with this whole cancel culture, especially when it's a hypocrite type of cancel culture. You're not
Hmm
canceling when it's people that you side with or that's siding with the side that you like. You only cancel when, and mind you, that whoever's on your side, they side could say the exact same thing and they would live on it, die on it, all that. But as soon as somebody from the
hmm
other side says something, and or somebody you like just last week, now everybody turning on Nikki. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's like everybody else, she's human. I think that she is a strong woman who does not really move and shake according to what somebody else says she should do. I believe that
hmm
as she is getting older, and just like the rest of us, right? All of us were what? Probably, I'm not going to necessarily say liberal thinking, but I was voting in a liberal way. And I think as we get older and we actually look at the world, people who are willing to be honest with themselves are saying like, well, dang, I don't think this really fits with me. I don't think this fits with me. I don't think that, I think all these people might be right. I'm going to stop looking at just race and look at what is actually best for me. And I 100% applaud her. I know she ain't worried about it, just like I ain't when people got something to say, and I ain't got near as much amount of money that she has. I see she's doing so many additional things now outside of music, but she does have an album coming out. I think it's March 24th, 2026. So y'all,
hmm
go check Nikki's album out. Now you don't have to go buy it in the store; you can just download it. So
hmm
that's easy.
Well, Mo, too, also you have to consider that she has become a parent.
Yep.
So that changes the way that you look at a lot of things in the world when you have children.
Yeah, yeah, and that does it grows you up and looks into things a different kind of a different
Hmm
way. So we know we parents. I know for me it shifted me and how I moved and how I thought. Not only that, just what I want to teach my child. I feel like as a, just say a foundation of Black American, I feel like you really start thinking too, like, do I want to pass this victimhood and uh look now, you better, because you're gonna get treated bad because you're Black. When you walk up in the store, everybody go like, do I really want to have to that be the conversation now? Yes, you want to say certain things, but to me, to be imparting that in the minds of children when you already telling them to not like their skin,
Mm-hmm.
because it's gonna
Yeah.
cause a problem.
Mm-hmm. I like my little sign, allegedly. No.
I love it too.
I'm
We
kidding.
gonna get in when we get into this other stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you have anything else in the trending or entertainment side you wanna touch on?
Well,
I know we did well, that's not technically entertainment. Trending topics that won't fit in entertainment or politics.
um, what was it that I was gonna say? No, it's nothing in the entertainment that I can think of because I haven't heard anything. And if I have, nothing comes to
Well,
mind
yeah, we
right
haven't
now.
got today. Yeah, we could probably do a little update on them peoples. But
Yeah, because
okay.
they've been kind of quiet since we started talking about them. So,
Yes, 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 yes. Well, we are going to go to one of Stag's favorite topics. And where is it at? Let's see. Is that it? No, that's me and you. Entertainment. Hold on, I done lost it. Is that it? Girl. Well, the law segment. I done lost it somehow.
I was about to say, is it what's in the law?
It is, yes. Let's talk law. Oh, I
Okay,
don't.
so look, this is something that I heard today. Did you know that they've made changes to the immigration visa, not visa, but green card holders? They've made
Mm-mm.
changes. So now there's new laws, and I believe that through Congress, that this was passed through Congress. They
Mm-hmm.
said that it used to be where if you had a green card, you could leave and be gone from the United States for up to a year, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and you wouldn't have to resubmit any paperwork or anything. Well, now, if you are gone for 6 months,
Mm.
you had better have a re-entry permit
Mm. I'm sorry. I just.
because they said that people used to be able to leave for us up to even 5 years and have a green card here and leave and go return to their home country or be wherever for 5 years and still were being let back into the country.
Mm.
And now you are no longer allowed to do that. And if you stay away too long, they suggesting that you keep up, like if you working,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere else, then you need to keep up with all of your travel paperwork and all of that stuff. And they're suggesting that you apply for a re-entry permit before you leave.
Wow.
Yeah, he ain't playing.
Well, look, and it's funny because I'm at the point where I am saying that I am gonna be a 3 month in, 3 month out citizen, and
Hmm.
the fact that
But
you
you're a
said,
citizen, though. This is the green card holders.
okay, yeah, so okay, I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, because if because it comes into question about allegiancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you? It appears if you're not here, you got a green card, but you're not here. It looks like you just want to have the ability to be able to come into the United States, and for what? What are you up to, right? So look at these people over here that we got that's got green cards and they're refugees and we can't get rid of them and we may be able should be able to, but the people who have been let in the country and they don't seem to like the country.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't know what they butts is setting up, what they
Yeah,
going
what
and
they're doing
staying there
over
so
here.
long for.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I would like to say this. So, do you remember the UN migration compact that they were trying to get Trump to sign his first term? And all of the nations were
Mm-mm.
signing on to it, where they were agreeing to let in large numbers of immigrants into their countries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a part of that migration compact was that if they left, even if they left to go and hang out with ISIS, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had to let them back into the country. Also, and I want you to see that the Biden administration this last time, they adhered to everything in that UN migration compact without us signing it, right? Because you
Mm-hmm.
had to, when those people migrated here, have housing for them, jobs, uh, clothes, and you also had to make it to where they weren't feeling out of place because they came from other places. So they would kind of make it um a bad thing to talk about their culture or any of their behaviors or things that they would do that wasn't societally acceptable
Mm-hmm.
in our Western nation. So, and we also had to agree to not only take in these people but send their countries money. That was all in that UN migration compact.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Trump is going through that because Biden, and during his administration, because Biden ain't know what the hell was going on. A lot of the things that was in that compact they were fulfilling. So I think that he's probably doing the things that kind of counter those things that were allowed, like the green card thing. Because like I said, if they with the migration thing, if you want to go over there and hang out with a bunch of terrorists, you could, and the country had to let you back in. So that's people who would come to our country and then leave and go in these, other places and then come back over here ready to, you know, do harm.
You know what
Or
I
hurt
just
them.
thought about? It's a perfect example. Is that Juan Kim case, because that's kind of basically what he was gone for like some years,
Mm-hmm.
and then just tried to come back and said when they had a problem with it. So and
Mm-hmm.
they was sending them through something. So it's funny because that's kind of the same thing. It makes sense to do that because they wasn't letting people be gone. Obviously, they wasn't letting people be gone that long and doing all that back then because I mean, I don't know if he had a passport. I don't know about any of that, but it became a big old case because they wasn't just saying, "Oh, you automatically a citizen."
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. You also remember that girl during Trump's first term that went over to another country and she was helping one of those terrorist organizations and Trump wouldn't let her back in the United States. You remember that?
no, I ain't hear about that.
You don't remember that? It was a big
Mm-mm.
old thing because she was saying that she was an American citizen, and Trump was like, "I don't care."
Mary's
Hmm.
asked, she said, "What about those Trinde Uragua that they want them back so they can have a hearing?" You heard of that?
But who now?
The I guess the gang bangers. I guess they want them back
Oh
to
yeah,
have.
they ain't coming back. They ain't coming back. That's not gonna happen. They ain't coming back. Oh, and I done learned how to really say it in a
I
way
said
that
the
because
gang
you gotta
bangers.
roll them R's, right? Tren de Aragua. I got it. Tren de Aragua.
Trinde Nicaragua.
But they're not coming back. These judges that are making these decisions, they ain't got no, they don't have the. Let me explain something to y'all since we're in this last segment, right? These judges is out their mind, and I want you to understand that immigration, the Department of Homeland Security, which is what immigration is under the executive branch of government.
Hmm.
The judiciary branch, they have no authority to decide anything concerning these immigration cases except do they have a order of removal? Are they an asylum seeker who is in the process? Or are they a refugee or somebody who has a permanent status here? If they don't have any of those things, all they can decide is whether or not they can be detained. Based on that criteria, they have limited review of immigration cases. And anything more than that, they are overreaching and
Mm.
violating the separation of powers because that's not their lane.
Ain't
Only
that
the
what they
executive
always
branch
do?
gets to decide who can stay, who has to go, and when they go, because it's a matter of national security, which is under the purview of the president, not some district judge.
Mary says it's an Obama appointed judge. Well, I knew I got something special for you. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. Let me get myself situated. This is something that we truly need to talk about because I know they beat everybody over the head about this not being true, kind of like the Russia thing. And then now, here we go.
Stunning admission about the 2020 election. After almost 5 years of assuring voters all procedures were followed, it turns out that may not be entirely true. Now they face some steep fines from the state elections board. Atlanta News First political reporter Doug Reardon is live tonight at the state capitol, where this all came out earlier this month. Doug.
Yeah, good evening, Blair. And those fines could crest $1 million if the state elections board gets exactly what they're asking for. Fulton County essentially admitted that there were unsigned tabulator tapes. Those are those pieces of paper akin to receipts that come out of the voting tabulation machines that help them verify how many people voted and to make sure that it actually matches the number of votes that were cast. Those are unsigned, and that violates state law. The board also admitted that they were missing some documents tied to 2020.
But it's a violation of a rule. They should have done it.
A stunning admission earlier this month from an attorney representing Fulton County's election board.
The tapes that are an issue in this case have been produced. They just weren't signed.
The ticker tapes she's talking about, shown here, are almost like receipts spit out by voting tabulators on election night. State law says they must be signed by poll workers for verification, but some 150 tapes tracking the votes of some 315,000 people during early voting in 2020 weren't signed.
At best, this is sloppy and it's lazy. At worst, it could be egregious and it could have affected an election.
Some other ticker tapes and documents tied to the 2020 election were also missing, the county said. The revelation made waves nationally. Even Elon Musk posted about it. Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger assured it wouldn't have altered the results of the election that was audited and verified several times over. Raffensperger posted online, quote, "A clerical error at the end of the day does not erase valid legal votes."
A clerical error could be one tabulator tape not signed or one tabulator tape missing, not 148 tabulator tapes missing.
Garland Favorito, who runs the conservative watchdog group Voter GA, said the admission is disturbing to people who've had doubts about the 2020 election for years.
It's not vindication. It's just about accuracy and the integrity and security of future elections.
And that wasn't it for Fulton County this month. Just last Friday, a judge down the hill here ruled that they have to turn over images of ballots from 2020. It was something they've been elections board on for well over a year. We're outside the state capitol. Doug.
So, Stag.
We
I
were
mean,
right. We were right. And just so that for those of you who may not understand what they were really saying there was a hearing December the 9th by the state election board in Georgia, and a gentleman uh, came forth with a few allegations. His name was David. Mm, hold on, I have it here. David Cross. He is a local election integrity activist, and he gave some testimony there. You know how they go up and they say things, and he said that there were 20,000 from a tabulator that didn't exist. And when they asked for proof of the tabulators, the proof they sent were serial numbers for different machines. But what they're saying happened here is that, because I got it written down here, that Georgia law requires that election officials have each ballot scanner print 3 closing tapes at the end of each voting day. Poll workers must sign these tapes or include a documented reason for the refusal. And at the start of voting day, they have to show what they call a zero tape. So they're saying that according to a 2024 investigation summary, 32 polling sites failed to verify the zero tapes. And the zero tapes are a tape that comes out that says that this machine doesn't have any other votes on it left over from the last election or from test ballots that they put in there. So you know that it's starting at zero, so that all of the numbers that are coming out are true and accurate, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the amount of votes that came through on this day. Um, 32 polling sites failed to verify those zero tapes. And they had 312,000 ballots that did not have the closing tape.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's signed by multiple people because as it moves through
Mm-hmm.
and changes hands, the ballots, each person is supposed to sign this tape. And when they showed an example of it, there's like 6 signatures on it. They had none. They had no signatures for 312,000 ballots
Well, you
in
heard
Fulton.
dude say though it ain't no big deal. It's not a lot. It wouldn't it wouldn't have made a difference.
It did make a difference if you remember that um, Biden only won Georgia by
Yeah.
11,780 votes. And we talking about 312,000 that shouldn't have been counted, but
Mm-hmm.
they were counted anyway because they put those ballots in and counted them anyway. So
Oh
they
no,
broke the law then.
I'm just being the devil's advocate, and but that's what I mean when we go in. Well, first, anybody, if you're on here, you're not already subscribed, please
But
hit
wait,
the
I got
subscribe.
another part to that, Mom. I got another part to that.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Because you also have to consider that all of this that Trump said, because if you play that call back with Raffensperger, he told him you have a bunch of ballots that aren't signed. And they admitted to not verifying the signatures on a bunch of ballots. It's a whole lot of stuff that the media is not saying that has come to light and has been admitted to, because I want you to know that this is not just people saying this.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this lady? Ann Brombaugh, the attorney for Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections, told the state election board in the hearing that they don't dispute these allegations. So this is not people just saying this or coming up and testifying to it. Georgia admits it. And they admitted that they had all of those ballots that weren't signed, no signatures on the ballots. So when he told Raffensperger, you know that there are some there, because remember I told you he had a conversation with the election board lady and she was giving him numbers. So Trump knew, but he said, all I want you to do is give me 11,000. That's what he was talking about, because I know that there are more
Right.
than that. But just find the 11,000 I need to win Georgia. That's what it was. So it's a lot going on. And Raffensperger, who is the Secretary of State and is over the elections in the state, substantiated the finding that Fulton County violated official election record documents process when it was discovered that 36 out of 37 advanced voting precincts in Fulton County failed to sign the tabulator tapes as required by state law. Now I want you to now put into perspective that knowing that that was true,
Mm-hmm.
remember a certain overzealous district attorney
That's what I was.
tried
That's
to
literally what was going
prosecute
through
the
my mind.
president for saying just that.
And what's interesting is because even just thinking about her and her hearing and her talking about, I didn't know they were gonna break the law, and people broke the law, and then look like your butt and your county was breaking the law.
So all of that she sees that she said in that hearing, if anybody come into my district and break the law, so how many of these people is she gonna hold accountable for violating the law?
None,
How many people
zero,
are we gonna see indictments for from Fonnie Willis for violating the law in her district?
zero, zilch, because they
Because you
bout.
know she was on that ballot. She won in that election.
Well, that's. I was watching something today, and that's what they were talking about too. That could make her win a little questionable
hmm
because of just the way they were blocking things and the way they were doing things, and she looks like she had such an overwhelming support, but the way that things went, that may not be true. But so that's what I'm saying. I don't,
Because I
well,
think she like the gatekeeper of it all because she knows that that was all fraud and she corrupt is all she's
almost
corrupt.
definitely.
And so I think that she has been the gatekeeper, and that's why she's refusing to turn over all of these documents. They don't want to turn over, this the stuff from the investigation because there was nothing there, right? I think that
I
this
feel
was a
she
way
going
for
to
her to
jail.
gatekeep because remember she arrested the people who went in to try to look at the machines.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
So
feel she is too cocky, too confident, and I really feel like she is one of those instances where the chicken's gonna come home to roost, and we gonna look back
mhm,
and her, Omar, Walt, all of them that are talking all the mess that they was talking before this man was in the White House.
mhm,
You could do all that
mhm.
tough Timmy talk then, but my president is King Petty, and
Yes, yes, ma'am.
you keep on talking and keep saying stuff as if there's nothing that can be done. And mind you, now you can try to say, oh, they weaponizing the justice system against the people. If you breaking a law, if you're committing a crime, it ain't weaponizing. It's you getting prosecuted the same way I would and anybody else would. So what makes you different? What makes you be
And
able to break the law?
I, I want to address this too because I was listening to PBD podcast earlier and they were talking about this, right? And one of the guys on the panel was saying that it still didn't matter because if he won Georgia, he wouldn't have won. But it wasn't just Georgia, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, they had hearings where it was shown that they had actually went in and had to change the size of the ballot that went in so that it didn't fit. So it automatically rejected ballots. So they would have to be cured by hand, which
Mm-hmm.
means that they would go in and decide how that person wanted to vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those were things. It was a lot that went on. It was Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Y'all got to remember it was a lot of discrepancies going on all over the place. And if he had won those states, he would have won. If he had won Arizona and Georgia, he would have won. So
Yeah.
if he had won Georgia and Pennsylvania, he would have won. So I mean, it's not just that simple, and it needs to be fixed in order to move forward. Because if they are allowed to get away with this and nobody's held accountable, what's to stop them from doing it again?
Yonky said that's what
And
they
especially
tried
since we
to.
all know. But I want to also, oh, go ahead.
I was saying Yonky was saying that's what they tried to frame Kemp for. Kemp is the governor, wasn't governor? What did he have going on of Georgia?
And he signed off on using the machines.
But then somebody tried to. I do remember them either turning him, trying to frame something was going on with him. I can't remember.
Well, the next part of that is the Department of Justice is demanding the records from the 2020 election, the voter rolls, and they are trying everything in their power to not turn them over. But according to the statute, all the attorney general has to do is demand them, and they shall, meaning they have to turn them over. But they in court trying to fight turning those things over, and I think that they won. I think the Department of Justice won because the law is on their side with it. They have to turn them over because they're looking into those fake laws things. So that's what's going on with it, and it's a case also. Rossi versus Kevin Motkla.
Mm-hmm.
And this complaint goes back to 2022, I believe it said. The original complaint goes to 2022, but they are also suing for these records,
Yeah,
and they are trying to.
I feel like
Um,
we got enough
no.
time.
It's I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
They were they're suing about the chain of custody. That's what it is. And the Department of Justice is U.S. versus Alexander because the Department of Justice is suing the county clerk for the records, a motion to compel the production of the records. So, and then of course, they went and got these black organizations that was involved in helping them.
Mm-hmm.
And they are Black Voters Matter. So they joined on to say they don't want them records released along with some union, right? Talking about they rights to be violated, their privacy will be violated, and it'll make them not want to vote in the future. Well, then don't vote.
Right. Yeah,
You know.
got another comment. Yankee says someone hacked into the voter rolls and 6.2 million people's voter information was leaked. Many were deceased. She said the breach happened right before the election.
Mm, see, they got a lot of problems.
Yeah,
But
I'm
but
waiting.
you can read
I
more
feel
about this
bad for him.
story
I said
in
I
the
feel I
Federalist.
feel bad
Okay.
for him because Trump got 3 years to do
Mm-hmm.
all that he wants, to get all this stuff in order. Once we get into 2026 and a lot of things that have been putting into play in this year, that they've been getting so much pushback and stuff on, that stuff is just gonna start flowing like it needs to once we go ahead and get this budget signed. And I feel like he got like Santa Claus. He making a list and he checking it twice. And he go
Mm-hmm.
and they gonna take time. Okay, go to this person, go to this person, go to this person. Well, I definitely when I saw this particular video and subject matter, because me and you talk about this so much, I wanted us to talk about it on the show. Of course, anybody who follows us, subscribes, watches us on any of our platforms, certain areas and certain things that are very important to us. So I'm gonna post this, but before I do that, I want you guys, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe while you're in the live. You can tap the heart, you can do things because all of the engagement lets YouTube know that you guys, the commenting that you guys are enjoying, and they'll send it out and allow and recommend it more for people who just may be perusing through YouTube. We want to
Okay.
bring. Go ahead.
Also, one small thing too. The lawyer who is representing the Black Voters Matter and these other groups is Mark
Mm-hmm.
Elias. How many times do I tell y'all about Mark Elias? He is the DNC's henchman and the Clintons' henchman, and he also is responsible for suing all over the country, trying to get election laws changed to make it to where it's easier to cheat. He sues for to allow ballot harvesting, drop boxes, and all of this other crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as we get the laws turned, then he goes right back in and sues again to get these things back into place. So Mark Elias, remember that name because he is a part of a lot of lawyers that are responsible for all of the lawsuits against the Trump administration and
Mm,
anything that they try to do. And
okay.
Mark Elias is the leader of them.
All right. Well, you guys, make sure I'm gonna mute myself out so we can make sure that you guys hear. But I definitely wanted you guys to listen to this, and we're gonna talk about it. I would love for you guys. You can comment and continue commenting in the chat. If one person who is in would like to come up and join our conversation, As well. We these next two segments that we have, we are definitely able to welcome up somebody on to the live with us. Able to welcome up somebody on to the live with us. All right.
It starts with "We the People." That's how I started the show, with the preamble to the Constitution. Those three words encapsulate the radical idea that's propelled the American experiment for over 2 centuries. Popular sovereignty, that we the people are carving our path into the future for ourselves, secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity. He writes, the founding generation understood that legitimate government derives its authority from the consent of the governed. The opening words of the Constitution ensure that no one can ignore this revolutionary proposition. This principle now faces a direct challenge. An illegal alien asserts the Second Amendment right of the people to bear arms, arguing that constitutional guarantees attach to non-citizens who've developed a quote-unquote personal connection to the country. Properly read, our text, Constitution, history, and tradition squarely prohibit his claim. They reveal that the people refers to the citizens of the United States who consented to its government. Since illegal aliens are not citizens, they cannot lay claim to the right to bear arms reserved for we the people. Escobar Tamal, a legal invader, is a Guatemalan citizen who illegally entered the United States over a decade ago. 2022, police discovered firearms in his home while investigating his alleged sexual abuse of his 14-year-old stepdaughter. The federal government charged him with possession of a firearm as an illegal alien. He moved to dismiss the indictment. The trial court denied the dismissal, and he took a guilty plea to a felony conviction. Second Amendment provides a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. When evaluating whether a gun control law complies with the Second Amendment, courts apply a two-step process under the Supreme Court decision of Bruin. We first ask whether the plain text of the Second Amendment, as understood at the time of the founding, covers an individual's conduct. In other words, would the founders have recognized this as a acceptable gun control law? If so, we then examine whether the government has demonstrated that its challenge regulation is consistent with the nation's historical tradition of firearms regulation. Oh no, sorry, I screwed that up.
So I saw this. I wanted to talk about this, and I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. Of course, this is Supreme Court. This is one of the judges, saying their view regarding this and how they are adamant about saying that someone who is an illegal alien um, cannot get the rights of the Second Amendment to bear arms because they have not been, in a sense, aligned or a citizen of this country. So my question is, I'm going back to birthright citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, if you can't bear arms because you are an illegal alien and you are not basically saying you are here to follow and abide by the laws and be a citizen of this country, how can that same person bear a child here and it be a citizen?
They can't. They can't. I don't care what these people say. They can't. They can't. And that is the sad thing with liberals when they say that these people are entitled to the rights that we have, and they're not. The Constitution was written by, for, and by and for we
The
the
people.
people,
Yep.
right? So we didn't include people from other countries in that.
Mhm. He
So,
actually breaks that down and says that the reason why they always said we the people, because it was making a differentiation between those citizens of this country and
Mm-hmm. So
anybody
it
else.
doesn't have to say citizen because
Right.
everything in it is we the people.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what
So they
that's
don't
what
have
they
to,
were
we didn't,
saying.
if this is an our thing with the government, then we don't need to name other people, right? We don't need to specify who we're talking about. So to say, it says persons because the person is talking about we the people,
Hmm.
not anybody. This is not a universal contract.
Yeah, it's interesting because people people a person that are is a part of the people. So if you're saying
Mm-hmm.
we the people, when you say that, and that's meaning citizens and those who have agreed to be
Mm-hmm.
citizens of this United States, why when you then say person, because that would be the only word that you would use in that text, why would
Mm-hmm.
person then mean all persons and not the people who are a part of we the people?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
It's
it's again is that they keep forgetting that the free slaves had a unique situation, right? They didn't come here of their own free will. They didn't seek to come here. They were sold as property and then became free. So that left them in a dilemma. They were people with no country,
right.
with no allegiance to anyone else.
Hmm.
And so they were in limbo. So, in order to make them citizens of here, that's why the 14th Amendment was written to grant them citizenship because
Right.
they had no home country and they had no allegiance to another country. Because again, when they came here, they came as property.
Yes. And so to think that people who are just here, who are citizens of another country, which means they have allegiance to that country, should be afforded the right to something that comes out of them that is not a citizen of this country to now become a citizen just because it was born on this land.
And
But
then to say that because of that reason, then that parent that broke the law and came here and had that baby, now it has a way to citizenship through that child. That's crazy. That's crazy.
that's what I'm saying. That's what's so strange to me because they literally have this great argument over a gun, over guns, and
And do you
saying,
know like how fast our country will be taken? We will be taken over in a generation,
yeah,
two
because it's over
generations,
three.
three
It's what
generations.
did they say? It's
The America would be no more.
300,000 children born a year to illegal immigrants in this country.
And all they need is 18 years to start voting, and Democrats want them to start voting at 16.
Yeah, because it's truly what they are trying to do, which is why. And of course, we don't know, the Supreme Court been saying the same stuff, so they've been weighed on each side the entire time. But I know the people who are defending this and who believe in this, especially the Democratic Party, they really are just looking to do with these immigrants what they did with us when they convinced us to come to that party, and everybody went and given them something. So they doing exact, and it's
hmm
like, it's so crazy because it's like, how can you not see that they're doing the exact same thing, giving them a whole bunch of free stuff, giving them a whole bunch of
hmm
stuff easily to now make them feel like they owe some kind of loyalty to them because what they've been fighting to keep them here, and then they expecting them to vote because first
It's
of
not
all,
even just that. It's the same thing that they do with black people. If you don't vote for us, the Republicans is going to deport you. If you don't
mhm,
vote for us, they going to take away your housing and your food stamps and all this good stuff that we giving you. If you
mhm,
don't vote for us, you going to get you won't be able to become citizens here. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
yeah, it's the same trick because
It's like we're the only choice because the alternative is the same thing that they did in slavery. Oh, you can leave the plantation, but you don't know, you might get out there and somebody catch you that treat you worse than I do. You
mhm,
know,
yeah,
that's their argument. We ain't great, but the Republicans are worse.
yeah,
That's their
and
thing.
and that's absolutely like, and what it is too is because they're seeing like, we could act like they ain't noticed them numbers in this last election, But they see it. They watching this social media. They hearing all these foundational Black Americans saying, uh, we seeing that these people ain't been for us. So they are feeling that pressure. They see them numbers change. They see them votes, and you know, it wasn't, even though it was only 8% of women, it ain't been near that ever. So the fact
Mm-mm.
that they're trying to replace y'all.
Mm-hmm. Cause
They
y'all the only voter, the you and white liberal women on they that y'all they only voting base.
Yep, yep,
And they
because
have become the party of the elite class because the people who vote in that class are college educated,
mm-hmm.
uh, elitist. They are elitist.
Yep, and they are generally the more wealthy. That's what's so interesting is that they, they
Hmm.
sit there and do all that talking about who ain't this, who is, these wealthy. We got to do this. We got to hurt these people. But the reality of it is that is who the bulk support them. Period.
Hmm.
That's who
Yep.
supports them.
So I want y'all to wake up because y'all are really, I had my rants about them. I'm gonna start calling them
Hmm.
the Jackass Party. That's my new name for them.
Well, ain't they?
The
Ain't
Jackasses.
that what a donkey is?
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna start calling them. I'm gonna stop calling them Democrats. Democrats and calling them the Jackasses. Because that's what they are.
So our next, we got so much stuff, Lord, going on that fits in politics and law. I'm gonna pull it up, but we uh, we want to. I'm gonna go to your favorite place, Somali soda, and I'm sure this
Oh my
segment
goodness.
this segment of the live and of the show will definitely draw us some people who are going to have some powerful things to say. But I want to go ahead and play this. We are at now, just if you guys didn't know, that count now is over $9 billion in one state alone. And there were some new charges and stuff. So we're gonna let y'all listen a minute, and then of course comment what you think. And then Stag, definitely, I want to hear your take, and then I'll definitely give mine. Hold on one second. Give your take, and then I'll definitely give mine. Hold on one second.
Where prosecutors have announced new charges expanding fraud scandal in that state involving millions of dollars for federally funded state-run programs during the pandemic. So today News News Brooke Schaefer is covering this, and Brooke joins us live from Minneapolis. What are we learning today?
Hey, Connell, today's press conference was really stunning in a lot of ways. Minnesota prosecutors really highlighting just how widespread they say this Medicare fraud is in their state. They announced 5 new charges today, including for a couple of guys they said traveled to Minnesota because, as prosecutors put it, they said they knew they could get away with this kind of fraud in their state. Prosecutors, they also highlighted several Medicaid programs they say have received about $18 billion in taxpayer funds in recent years. Today, they said it is very possible that about half of that $18 billion is theft.
Fraud is not small. It isn't isolated. The magnitude cannot be overstated. What we see in Minnesota is not a handful of bad actors committing crimes. It's a staggering industrial scale fraud. It's swamping Minnesota and calling into question everything we know about our state.
So prosecutors today said that they are still in the thick of investigating several alleged Medicaid fraud schemes in Minnesota. They were reluctant today to give any kind of a dollar amount of the fraud. They said several times in today's press conference that they prosecute people, not dollars, but at least one of the several schemes that they are investigating is reported to have collected $300 million in taxpayer money. And federal sources tell News Nation that most of the people arrested so far are of Somali descent. That has, of course, just really sent this fraud scheme throughout the state of Minnesota right into the national political conversation. President Trump has attacked Minnesota's Somali population, the largest in the country. Some Democratic and local state leaders have really pushed back on that, calling it unfair to blame the.
All right. Now we gonna touch on this, but it's interesting because I want the follow up to this or what's going on now recently with because everybody we had the people saying oh it ain't nothing we fine we know we got Deontay from our TikTok saying oh we gonna be fine everybody been new this it ain't nothing Minnesota fine and all that, but the fact that more and more keep coming out what are you thinking?
I believe this is going to be a really a huge thing because the keywords I was listening to is that he said because they keep remember when this first broke, what was
Mm-hmm.
them Somalis coming up there saying? It's just a few,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't say it. He said it's not small and it's not isolated, and they are still in the thick of investigating it. And they don't
Mm-hmm.
even want to put a dollar amount on it because there's so much of it, and they got to find all of it. So and also the people who have been arrested now are the people who actually set up programs that got the government grant fund, but you still got the people who allowed them to use their names because in the autism thing, they were giving those parents kickbacks from the check. So they was getting the checks and just giving them money.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting it too. They weren't seeing no treatment and nobody got any treatment. Nothing happened. The peoples whose names they use, they gave them money to use their names in their
Mm-hmm.
social security or whatever they had. Right? Because in order to get this grant money, you got to show that you got people you serving. So in order to get that much money, there had to be a whole lot of people they had signed up for these programs that wasn't getting any services but was getting kickbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just in Minnesota, I'm hearing this in Ohio,
You
in
got
Massachusetts. Yeah,
Maine.
they all over the place. They defrauding all over this country.
Well,
So you can't get mad at us because we saying that
because
y'all
we telling the
hey,
truth. We
yeah,
talking
and y'all
about
gotta
stuff
go.
that you want to get swept under the rug, like the party who these people are connected to. But no, we're not
Hmm.
gonna do that because maybe if we keep sharing stuff, and some people gonna be blind because they just want to be blind. But if you keep sharing and people have a actual mind and they can start looking and
Hmm.
seeing that literally they were just complaining about millions of people are gonna be getting cut off of SNAP and Medicaid and this and that and that's not right. This is that. But then you turn around and you got billions of dollars being stolen from these programs. So
Hmm.
and ain't nobody been cut off yet. That's entitled. So you should that same anger and all that you had regarding and thinking about Trump and the people getting cut off. You should be having it for this. But this is where I hear what I really leading into this. You're gonna really see what's very very interesting about the fact that they're not saying anything. But these people ain't playing. Hold on.
Hmm.
Okay, some major fallout now over the Minnesota fraud scandal that keeps on growing. Nearly 100 mayors are voicing concerns about the state's fiscal policies, writing to the governor there, Tim Walz. Fraud, unchecked spending, and inconsistent fiscal management in St. Paul have trickled down to our cities. Our state owes it to our citizens to practice responsible fiscal management and to stop taxing our families, seniors, and businesses out of Minnesota. And now the federal government is getting involved here. House Oversight Committee, it's widening its probe, inviting state lawmakers to come testify and other federal departments to investigate. So let's bring in now Chairman James Coburn. He
Ooh, I'm
leads
gonna
the
watch that
charge over
here.
at Oversight, and he joins us now. Good morning to you. Tell us about who you're bringing in, who you want to see on Capitol Hill, and what questions do you want to ask them?
Well, the most important people are the state whistleblowers, the state employees who put that tweet out that we all are familiar with a few weeks ago that alerted America to the massive fraud. These state employees also allege that they had warned both Governor Walz and Attorney General Ellison for years that this fraud was occurring, and yet nothing was taking place. So we're going to bring the state employees in. We're going to get their sworn testimony. We appreciate their bravery in coming forward. We're also going to bring in state lawmakers and Minnesota mayors because the walls are caving in on Tim Walz. This massive amount of fraud is affecting and impacting every citizen of Minnesota because they're having to cut services because so much of the money for social programs was wasted and defrauded by this Somali population. So these are the people we're going to bring in. We're going to try to identify who was responsible for this. We're going to try to identify banks that we can subpoena their bank records so we can follow the money to see how much was taken, who took it, and then who do we need to hold accountable, and hopefully we'll have some criminal referrals at the end of the investigation.
Stag.
Don't sound like Minnesota's doing as well as Deontay said it is. That these mayors are saying that, they need to be more responsible fiscally, right?
Yep.
And all of the taxes that everybody is paying,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it doesn't sound like they're doing all that well and that everybody is happy.
And did you hear him say that a lot of the state workers told them that they notified the attorney
Yeah.
general and the government about this years ago?
Yeah. Remember, I told you that they had left a tweet to Kamala Harris to tell
Yeah.
her it was 400 state employees,
Well,
400 of them.
can you imagine what that's gonna be like when they bring them to testify in front of the committee? I be
I'm
watching that
watching that.
stuff anyway, but I 1000% gonna be watching in
I'm watching that
because
hearing
if
right
they
there.
can
We
prove,
might need to go over that.
yeah, we right gonna go live and watch it. Watch it on here because as long as we watch it from the
Hmm.
actual the news or the live here, we can legally do that. It's but he said, and then we things come out the way I mean, regardless of who it is, if somebody is doing something wrong, they should be prosecuted. Of course,
Hmm.
like they all happy, and when it comes to this person that we're gonna go into our next story, um you would want the bigger person because you want to see if Walls really has something to do with it, but if not, you want the people who had something to do with it to get arrested because that's not a little bit of money.
And it seems so flagrant. And another thing that they had said was that they they believe that they overpaid them money into their food stamp program because of some numbers. They were playing with the numbers, and so it caused them to get more money than what they were supposed to get into their food stamp program. So I mean, this is crazy.
Mm.
This is crazy, and this is going to be such a big scandal. And if you think that it's not going to be other states
Yeah.
then it's just because it ain't just them in Minnesota, it's them probably all over. And then let's not forget the Haitians, they trying to get in on the fraud.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said, I tried to tell Deontay, I said, people, because he said that before, fraud tourism, where they are coming from other states to sign up for your programs and then going back home and just collecting checks. And came there specifically because they said it's so easy to
Mm-hmm.
fraud the system there. Now that's sad.
Yep.
That's how irresponsible they are with the people's money.
Well.
And when their budgets are blown out, they just want to raise your taxes after they've been wholly irresponsible with the money they
Mm-hmm.
already got. And no accountability for it. Not one person has been fired
They.
because that fraud don't go on. Who? Nobody catches the fraud. Nobody caught it.
Not a
Not
soul.
one person has been fired.
I'm sorry. Let me put that on there.
That's crazy.
I'm like what Malcolm say. I'm waiting for the chickens come home to roost. I really, really am. Um, I'm so sick. I'm literally like so sick and tired of people making excuses um, for stuff that's slapping us right in the face. Now of course, they going people would say, "Oh, well, y'all do that. You do that for the other side. You do that." No, I just logically think. I think we logically think they want us to see something that's not actually real and really there. They want most of the times when I'm engaging in conversation, they want me to you think from my heart and not from my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And your heart leads you wrong many a times. Your
The
mind
heart
and
above all things is deceitful. Ain't that
yes.
the
Yes, but your mind and what you can logically reason and see and put right in front of you, that is what that is. And that's, I think too, if we just be honest, like that's actually probably what the issue is. Because even in this kind of stuff, right? They don't get it because they're tied emotionally to now I'm gonna look like a fool because I've been supporting this person. Secondly, oh, well, they just the immigrants. They ain't trying,
Mm-mm.
you know, and it's more emotional. It's more emotional than literally any kind of reality.
Then they can't be real because you have American children that are going hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And these people getting over like fat fat rats. Did you see the videos that I had posted on my TikTok of them popping bottles of champagne and taking
Yeah.
expensive
Uh-huh.
honeymoons? And the one telling the other guy you're gonna be the richest 25-year-old year
Yeah.
old, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
the one taunting us and and talking about how they about to take over everything, and we just mad because we ain't figured out how to finesse the system and all of that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Come on, and it's Americans that are going hungry.
And they literally, though, what's crazy is they literally are, supporting them on this. I
Mhm.
just have never seen I've never seen nothing so crazy. Well, as you see, I had lost the overlay, but next what we're going to, we're kind of talking politics because we're talking about a politician. And isn't it ironic that politics and law and crime kind of always commingle with each other? And
Mhm.
that is not how it should be, should it? We should not be able to always connect politicians to crime and law. They supposed to
Mhm.
be the people we really should trust, be able to
But
trust.
here
Well,
they are.
perfect segue into our next segment. Let's talk politics now. Me and Stag wanted to share something because we know that a lot of the mainstream media, definitely any left leaning media, is not talking about this. They have you still thinking that there is, first of all, everybody about to die because everybody gonna lose their health insurance and on the 31st because the Republicans ain't signed for these ACA enhanced what is it, enhanced subsidies. And
Mhm.
we know that's a lie. They know that's a lie. And then because of that, because they keep telling you, because how many times they say all the time, the Republicans, they keep saying they don't want to sign, they don't have a plan. They ain't had number concepts of a plan. They don't have a, this and that. And then they just somehow accidentally, we're going accidentally forgot to tell you, me, us, we, that Bill HR 6703, which is a Republican sponsored
Health plan, yeah.
health care plan, passed the
Mhm.
House on
It's
Thursday.
now been 5 days ago.
Yeah, it'll be
Mhm.
it'll be 7 days on past Thursday. And they did not tell you or I or anybody about anything what it is, what it does. Um Well, I know you've heard about it. Why do you think they withheld this from we the people?
Because they're Democrat propagandists. Because I would think that this would be newsworthy, that every outlet would be reporting on this. If they were truly unbiased media, then
Mm-hmm.
they would report all of the news. But they don't want you to know the Republicans did this so that you can still keep thinking that Republicans are not trying to do
Mm-hmm.
anything about the healthcare crisis that Democrats created. They created the healthcare crisis that we have. They created the unaffordability in healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
And I would ask you, we all know that the ACA is broken.
Hmm.
We all know that the cost of health insurance continues to rise, and we all know that there needs to be some fixes,
Yes.
right? Why won't Democrats negotiate on trying to fix the issues with the ACA? Why are we stuck with the original bill that they passed that is flawed and really didn't do anything that they told us that it was going to do? So because, and this is the problem that I have with Democrats, is that they create horrible policy and they
Mm-hmm.
won't admit that it's horrible. And they just let the American people suffer and they just spend our money frivolously behind
Mm-hmm.
it. This was a new thing that we tried. So, of course, we don't know how it's going to work, right? So, as we move along as legislatures, they are supposed to, as legislators, they are supposed to see those issues and tweak the legislation along the way to make it better. The
Mm-hmm.
thing that says in our Constitution, we the people, right? We wrote it so that we can form a more perfect union, not a perfect union, but a more perfect union, which means we move in that direction. So if you write flawed legislation that doesn't work and it's costing us so much money, why aren't you willing to negotiate to fix it? They're unwilling to negotiate to fix it. Their only solution is to keep giving insurance companies more money and giving them more money for nothing really. Because even though people are signed up on the ACA, many of them still can't afford to get sick because they damn deductible is too high. And at the rate that we're going in 5 years, deductibles will be like 50,000. I remember a time when a deductible was like $500. It was a man who came on our panel the other night and said that his deductible is 18,000 freaking dollars. So even if he gets sick, can he afford to? Because he got to pay 18 grand before the insurance company pay anything. So how does the ACA serve him? How is that a better option? How is that affordable? It's just awful. Them jackasses get on my nerves.
It's not affordable. And what's interesting, I'm actually pulling up now because they put up a bill, and I didn't get to look at exactly. I know one of the key things was that they wanted 3 more years of the enhanced COVID era enhanced subsidies. So what I was thinking to do is, we know the one that we just went 6703 that passed. It was proposing a rate share, right? Which would allow the premiums to go down, as well as the cost for the silver and the subsidies go down. As well, they also was allowing, which when that happens, then that spills over to everybody, right? Because we know the ACA affects 7% of the population. So now that this is allowed to go down and the premiums aren't as high, then these insurance companies won't think that they can do the same to the people off of it. They were still keeping the subsidies, but they weren't doing the COVID era enhanced subsidies. They were allowing, because a lot of times, they had, like, if your company was small, um, if your company, that was one of the key things. If your company was small and they didn't do insurance, or their insurance was too high, you could go on the ACA. So a lot of people were going there because guess what? They could qualify for the subsidy. So now
Yeah,
this
but it's
new,
still higher than what insurance was. That's crazy.
well, that's the
It's
thing.
still
That's
higher.
that's why this bill for the Republicans is saying let the businesses get together and form a group so that then people they can shop for insurance outside of sending their to the ACA where we know these insurance companies
Which
going
is what it used to be.
rob. Yes. So and that's what the problem. So yeah, it makes sense. So
That was the
this is
way it
what
was
they're trying to do.
pre-ACA.
So
Mm-hmm.
so it look. I just wanted to read and see. It says that the one that they presented, um, it would extend the COVID era enhanced tax credits for 3 years.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I think they should go ahead and let it expire.
it's gonna expire.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see because what I'm trying to see is how you said, well, they haven't. We saying they haven't presented anything. So when they presented something, which was this, I'm trying to see if
The
they asked
jackasses voted no.
if they no, I'm talking about the Democrats because remember we said
Yeah,
they
the
had all this time
jackasses.
they ain't did nothing. So when they
Right.
presented something, I was trying to see if they presented something in this bill other than extend them for 3 years. If they did, like you heard me saying, Republicans, they're like they got these different little plans, get with the people
They
together,
got
cost
ideas
sharing, all this. So let me see.
to
It
try to
says
reduce costs.
it
Mm-hmm.
says was introduced and is the main legislative vehicle for extending the premium tax credit, but it had not become law. Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see summary of what it.
I bet you it does nothing to reduce the cost. And while you looking for that, let me tell you, because they get kickbacks from the insurance companies for the express purposes of keeping this money train going to them. With no guarantees, they just handing them billions of dollars with no negotiation on premium prices, on healthcare costs, on pharmaceutical prices. They just giving them whatever the insurance companies say it is that it costs, and then next year they can raise it up again, and the government is just advocating, the jackasses is advocating to just keep handing them blank checks, like whatever they say it costs. And Republicans are actually trying to find ways to lower the actual cost.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. They literally are trying to do something that would actually help everybody because that was one of their key things is you know this isn't the right one, seeing that it was going to not just benefit 7% of the people, because that's another thing that people keep saying. They're like, oh well, it's 20 something million or 40 million people on what is that, the ACA, and it's like there's 330 million people in the country. Like I'm just saying, what are you saying? Like you know, that's really all. And you guys, you see, we have pinned at the top. We still got a minute if anybody wants to come in and join the conversation. Join. We're talking about this right now. Oh, it don't.
I text you.
Okay. Oh, you talking to Javo?
Hmm.
Stag. I was trying to help them. I was trying to help these people, but it don't look like they was proposing nothing but the subsidies.
Hmm. Which is not lowering the cost. It's just agreeing to keep giving the insurance company more money. So it's not lowering the cost of anything. That is just,
It's not. It's also, like I said, it's very interesting that people would even be okay with them just telling you all they want to do is make sure that people who didn't qualify for the ACA when the ACA law was written, they want to dump 85 billion more dollars into the ACA to give them insurance subsidies when they make too much to qualify for the ACA.
mm-hmm. Yep. And the jackasses are not concerned with the actual cost of healthcare coming down.
Hold
They
on.
don't care if your premium costs $1 million. They like, we'll write the check because then the insurance company is gonna put money in their pocket for writing them that check. And you know what happens? Then we need to find that money from somewhere. And where do you think it comes from?
We got a guest up there. They don't have their camera on, which is fine. Can you talk, guest, so we
Okay.
can make sure that we can hear you?
Yes, how y'all doing?
How you doing? Welcome
Yeah,
to
how
the.
you?
Jabba.
I don't know how to use the camera. I
It's
don't.
okay. You don't have to turn it on. It's fine. Welcome to the Proud Mary podcast. What's your name, sir?
Oh, Jabo.
Welcome up, Jabo. What
Well,
would you?
hello, Jabba.
What's going on?
What?
Stag and Mo, what's happening?
How you doing, manager?
What's happening?
I'm good. I didn't get a notification. I was like, man, what is going on?
Well, I sent it to you on TikTok, and Stag said she texted as well.
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
No, I didn't get.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't get no text, but go ahead.
Yeah, Stag. Nothing. Nothing. It literally is just extending the subsidies for 3 years. That's all they put in there to do.
Hmm. Which does nothing. Again, like I said, they're good for nothing but spending money.
Uh,
So y'all talking about the subsidies of the health care that the Republicans brought in, or something
yeah, well,
else what
what
the
we, because
Democrats want?
we try to make sure that people know about stuff that mainstream media. So we brought up HR 6703 that is passed the House. That is the Republican health care plan, and just talking about giving some of the things that it brings, and then trying to be fair and be bipartisan. Um, we wanted to look to see, we were looking up to see what the Democrats were proposing in regards to a health care plan, because they agree, right? They always agree that it needs to, that the Obamacare, the ACA needs to be worked on. It needs to be revamped. Something needs to happen. So we were figuring, since they agree to that, and they want the Republicans to sign something, that they would present something that was at least in the vein of what they think the Republicans were leaning towards. Because the key thing for the Republicans are reducing the price for all of Americans, not just for people on the ACA. Also, one of the major things is not just giving.
But Mo, it's not reducing the price for people who are on ACA. It's just the government
No,
is
that's not
paying
what I'm saying.
that exorbitant cost.
No, that's not what I said. I said the Republicans want to
Mhm.
reduce the cost of insurance for all Americans. So I'm saying that you would think the Democrats would have presented something that would somehow do that if they wanted the Republicans to sign, but all they were doing and presenting is the same thing that the Republicans are trying to change in their bill. They don't want insurance companies to just be able to say, "Oh, your premium if you're 30 and healthy is $2,000 with a $17,000 deductible." And oh, okay, government, we just gonna pay it. The Republicans are not for that because that makes no sense, but that's what the ACA is allowed. So now we go and look, and the Democrats literally they know something and they have not come up with anything. But they beat up on Trump and the Republicans for a concept of a plan, but they ain't got no plan but to give this 85 more times. They say the rule would allow eligibility, of course, we know, for 400% of the federal poverty line. That's it. And so give that money that they're going to end up figuring out a way to roll back to them anyway.
Hmm.
But I thought the Democrats was against, corporations and rich people.
Yeah.
So,
We that's what they say.
That's what they say.
but they want the rich people to actually benefit off the subsidies.
Yeah. That's exactly who's going
Like
to benefit.
that's
And they are the rich people. They the rich people too who going to be who going to be benefit.
Yeah. The
The
middle class workers are going to be paying for the health insurance of the wealthy.
Yep, they want the wealthy, the higher wage earners that's 400% over the poverty line. They want to help them, so they giving them some money, and it's crazy
You got to
because
picture they trying to get everybody onto the ACA, and it'll be universal health care without saying that's what it is. They
hmm
just want to keep adding every group onto it until eventually everybody's on it. And bam, universal health care.
and you know
so
what's interesting because they said that they didn't even put in here for Medicaid expansion, no price caps, and then and wasn't they worried that all the people gonna get kicked off of Medicaid?
Yeah, that's what they said.
so I have a question for both of you young ladies.
Yeah.
How much would by the Republicans putting the bill in play, and it's that it's a cutoff. If I'm correct, it's a cutoff of who can actually get the subsidies. So how much would that save America by doing the cutoff compared to the Democrats' bill of keeping everyone on it?
$85 billion.
$85 billion.
Huh?
$85
I
billion.
was cutting out.
$85 billion.
So why? So why wouldn't we want to, save the American, because we already in debt like out the roof. You see what I'm saying? So why wouldn't we want the rich to actually pay their fair share as far as paying for their own health care instead of getting help from the government?
Because it's gonna make their insurance premiums go up 300, 400%.
But they rich though. So
Well,
I don't
they
think
Right.
they
I
rich.
thought we
They
didn't
they
care
make
about
better money.
the
I'm
rich.
being sarcastic because that's literally. But mind you, 4 years ago they was paying 200, 300% more, and they was paying without a problem. You just decided to help them, and it makes sense because it was in COVID. Maybe some of them wasn't working. But if they wasn't working, I don't even know how they ended up paying anything. But however, you wanted to help them, but now the help is because am I wrong? Alice Jabo or Stag? Have you heard any of these people that are over 400% of the poverty level complaining?
No, and the people wasn't going nowhere. They were
no.
sitting at home working from home. They were still getting paid. And what is it that you always say, Mo? If they are, why is it that the jackasses is only advocating for the one thing that gives money to the insurance companies, right? And
Hmm.
not advocating for the things that was during COVID that went put money in American people's pockets.
Yep.
They ain't arguing for none of them to keep getting PPP loans,
Mm-mm.
enhanced unemployment. They ain't arguing and fighting for you to keep getting a stimulus check, rent moratoriums. Because look, inflation went up to 9%. They
Yeah.
start complaining about the price of
Y'all
houses.
said
They can't afford
8.3%
houses.
unemployment rate for
People
black
can't
people
afford their houses. So why aren't Democrats fighting for that? Like it's just like it's crazy. It's
because
crazy. And
it don't go to them.
people actually cheer them on
Like
and
even
support
saying that.
this ignorance. It's crazy to me.
And literally, and Jabo knows too. How many times have we been on either one of our lives? I've said that a million times. If you believe that they are entitled to that, why don't you want all the other stuff that you was getting during COVID? And then
Mhm.
why you ain't fighting to get that stuff? Because that stuff, as we see, boosted the economy. Because ain't that when black people did the best when they handed out all that money to them?
But it's not even just that. It's the part of why aren't Democrats fighting for any of that stuff since they claim
That's
to
my
care
point.
about you.
Mm-hmm.
Since they claim to be the ones that care about you, fight for the poor, and care about the unaffordability, that's their talking point. Why aren't they fighting for those things for you? And why are they fighting for something that only put money in the hands of insurance companies?
And them.
Billion
But
dollar insurance companies.
that's exactly my point too, Stag, because it was proven that giving all that money out did stimulate the economy. So you can spread that 85
No, but
billion.
that's bad stimulation in the
I mean,
economy.
I get it, but I'm saying if they I don't agree. I'm just saying, but their point is they're trying to do they doing this thing because of COVID era. But even if they was, why would you be trying to help people that make over 150 that don't qualify for it? If you want to do something with $85 billion, like we saying, why don't you give it to the people?
No, but it's not that. But they need
I
to
don't want it, but I'm just
they
saying.
I know, but I'm saying they need to look at it from the perspective of what the people who claim to care about them, the thing that they're fighting for.
It's not them.
That's what they're fighting for. They don't care about that you can't afford rent. They
Mm-hmm.
don't care that you can't afford to buy a house. They
Mm-hmm.
don't care that you can barely buy food, or that you barely can keep your bill. They didn't care when inflation was 9%. They wasn't fighting to try to give you all of that extra stuff so they can float you through why this inflation they was telling us was transitory.
They
They
ain't
weren't
care
fighting for
in
you at all, but
October
yeah,
that you was
they are
hungry.
showing up fighting for these insurance companies to get your money.
You hear me? They ain't care in October that these people was hungry and wasn't and didn't have SNAP benefits coming in November. They gonna stay shut
That's
down to
ridiculous.
keep you starving, all for these insurance companies to get that money.
This is crazy,
And
crazy, crazy to me that they are not looking at what they are actually fighting for.
yeah,
And then will tell us they fight for the little people, they fight for the poor. I don't see it. You got to
oh,
show me. I don't see it.
you know we
So
definitely don't.
so can we safely say that what the hearing that RFK had in front of the hearing before they accepted him, um that he actually exposed Bernie Sanders and a lot of other, individuals that was being paid off by the pharmaceutical
Big trust
companies
fund
and
companies and
the
everything. Yeah.
insurance companies?
Mm,
Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, of all people, is the highest one paid by the pharmaceutical
yeah,
companies and insurance companies. He get more money than anybody. And second is Elizabeth Warren.
mm-hmm. And that's like her.
Millions of dollars that they getting to make sure that you can't afford health care without them, so that they can be the pass through to give your hard-earned tax dollars to billion-dollar insurance companies so they can keep making it unaffordable for you, so they
Well,
can keep giving them more money, and then insurance companies, in exchange for them keeping the legislation and keep it unaffordable and keep putting money in their pocket, they get them a little something. It's the finder's fee.
mm-hmm. Well, I hear that smoke building up in you, so I think this is a perfect time to transition right into. You can stay up, we'll disappear, though, Jabo, and we're gonna give Miss Stag the front stage. This is the perfect time for us to roll into Stags. I just can't moment. So we're gonna mute myself. I'm gonna mute Mr. Jabro, and we're gonna. I can't wait to hear what this moment is for today. Hold on.
This moment is for all of them Somalians that was in our comments trying to talk trash about what we were saying. I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying, because I don't like the fraud that y'all committing. I don't like it at all. And like I said earlier, y'all came up here when this first broke and y'all was coming all on our panels and talking about, oh, it's just a few people and you shouldn't demonize a few, all of the Somalians for a few people and this and that. You can't gaslight us, y'all. All a bunch of pirates. It's in your blood. That's what you do. Somalian pirates, that's what you do. Steal, that's what you do. And if your country was any good, if you wasn't trying to do here what you did in your country, well, if you weren't doing there in your country what you're doing here now, you probably still have a country. Corruption is what got you over here. And y'all like to blame the United States and talking about what the United States couldn't have done anything that it did without your corrupt government that allowed them to do it. They allowed them to do whatever they did. And that's who you should be mad at. Your corrupt government. And you see how our government was corrupt and we letting them know that's not what we're doing. Y'all should do the same thing. And again, I will say that I know a lot of y'all keep saying that, y'all are citizens. We're citizens. Well, they saying that over half of y'all committed fraud on your immigration papers. So I hope your paperwork is tight. And I really don't care if they send all of you back, because I'm glad that he didn't stop letting you come in, because y'all are stealing from hardworking tax-paying citizens. Hardworking taxpayer citizens, and I'm gonna put it like this. You will say you can't punish a whole community for the actions of a few. Well, when you don't hold them accountable, or you don't check your community knowing that you are here invited guests into our country, and accepting of the generosity of the American people to you once you get here, then it's just like if you had a job and because a couple of people act like they don't know how to dress for work, that's how you get a dress code. Okay? Y'all can't wear Halloween costumes because people don't know how to show up to work in a Halloween costume that is uh for work. That's when women think they can have their ass cheeks out at work because it's Halloween. So then the company just say, oh, nobody can wear a costume. So just like those few people are stealing billions and billions of dollars, probably gonna get up to $1 trillion when we put all these things together, then that means that the microscope is on all of you, because it's mighty funny that the majority of the people involved are Somalis. In Minnesota is not only full of Somalians, but that's who's committing all the fraud in all of these programs. And just because those few people got arrested, those were the ones who set up the programs, right? But a bunch of you was getting kickbacks, participating in those programs, but not getting services in those programs, but you was getting paid from those programs because they couldn't do it without people.
Hmm.
So, yeah. I don't even remember the comments because I wanted to address specifically the things that were in some of the comments there, but couldn't use
Well,
my other
I'll
mic
definitely
anyway to
give
put the
you
ones
the.
that I had.
I'll give you the one. The guy said that he's glad he's not in this country because you black people, or us black people, we still don't know. We dealing with mass incarceration. We still let George Zimmerman be away. We mass incarceration. We don't like each other. We doing unalive, killing each other. We doing all these things. So he glad we need to try to get ourselves together and stop worrying about Somalians.
They wasn't killing each other over there in Somalia. They don't got warring gangs over there in clans in Somalia.
Well, he
Is
said,
that what he's saying? They don't have that over there, and you can keep your ass over there in Somalia. We don't want you here then. Stay over there. I hope you love it. Stay.
"All right, y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? That is Stag. and the I just can't moment. Javo, how did you like that? How did you like that?
No, that's real talk what she's saying. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, I agree with her 1000% because I feel like a lot of these, and like I said, I don't want to, I know it feel like we demonizing the whole, group of individuals, but up it was up under their watch,
Mhm.
their so-called leader watch as well. So yeah, I agree with her 1000%, and
They
that
defending
they
it,
actually
Jabo.
they had an actual opportunity to come to America and in open arms because that's what we do as Americans. We actually allow a lot of immigrants to come into our country, but when you're up under the watch of your leader and she's actually in the Senate and you allow stuff like this to go on billions of dollars, just imagine that a black American or even a white American fraud the system out of billions of dollars. You already know it would be a complete uproar. So yeah, we I agree with her 1000%.
And let me just say this too, right? The fact that y'all want to keep throwing up how y'all were out there with George Floyd, that shows that you don't consider yourself as a part of the black diaspora. That now that y'all like, we all black, we black, we black. Why y'all not, you don't see yourself as that because you keep throwing up that y'all was out there for George Floyd. Because if you black, then you was out there for you. What you throwing
Right.
that up to? No,
Right.
I don't care. I
Yes.
don't care what was going on in that. I don't care about it. So that shows that your separatism from black skinned people in this country, but you want that when you can benefit from the programs or the scholarships or any kind of leverage that comes with the black skin, but you don't want to be it when it comes with anything else. Then you act like other immigrants and you throw
Mhm.
out those stereotypes and you show how you really feel about black Americans. So yeah.
All right. Well, we are going
Mhm.
into our last segment. This is going to be short and sweet, and it is the Mo's Money Minute. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is going to be real quick, real short, real sweet. We are rolling into tax season, and I know a lot of you all go and search for the signs that say we can get you the most money. You got 2, 3, 4 kids. We going to get you $10,000. We going to do this and that. Let me tell y'all something. Guess what them people going to get you? They're going to get you clinked. Them people are not registered. They are not at all generally signed up. They actually preparing your tax returns like you doing it yourself. Get your stuff together. Praise God for the one big beautiful bill because it is going to allow you to just do what you should do legally and get at least 2, 3,000 or more back than you expected to. But y'all don't walk up into these people. Don't go to Ray Ray and Pookie and them who say that they do taxes and they do it in their backyard or in the basement or any of those things. Make sure that you are checking the credentials of the people who you allow yourself to give all of your most valuable personal information to, and not just yours, your children. Do not choose these jack legs, and I'm gonna say it, do not go and allow people to prepare your taxes who just do taxes, because if they just do taxes, they gonna do you, and then you ain't gonna be able to find them when you done and the IRS coming knocking at your door. So this has been Mo. This has been my money minute. I hope you take it down. Don't take it for a joke because it's real. And thank you so much. See y'all next week. All right. That was quick. Did I get a minute in?
Yep.
All right. All right. So let me hold on. All right. So we are at the part of our show, and guys, we came on Tuesday instead of Wednesday because, of course, tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and we want to chill. And we want to be able to have the rest of the week and just relax. Of course, we're going to be doing research. We're going to be finding some stuff to talk to you guys about next week. If you are not following us on our socials, you see our TikToks because we do go and do live panels on TikToks. on TikTok 2 to 3 times a week. So make sure, if you're not following me and Stag, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. If you are a subscriber and you like the content that we give, share it with your family. Share it with your friends. Put it on your social medias. Let people come over here and join us, because why we came this way, first of all, we too big for tickety talk. But secondly, on tickety talk, we got to talk like tickety tick tock talk. We got to talk like babies. We got to talk like little children. We can't say what we want to say. We have a bunch of people who are haters, who want to block and stop the truth from coming out. So we are really generally trying to build our platform. And I always be saying here, but we are right now streaming on Rumble live. So all our Rumble people, hey, we gonna come in there and comment too, because we be forgetting. But we thank you for watching us on Rumble. We are also streaming on Spotify and all of your podcast platforms. So if you missed the show and you want to see it visual, you can see it on Spotify. You can hear just audio. But me and Miss Stag and this Proud Mary podcast is working hard to make this thing grow, and we can't do it without the support of you guys. So all of our supporters, we appreciate you. And just keep on coming
Yeah.
back with us, Stag. Stag.
Oh, oh, what?
What you got to say before we wrap up?
You know, I am a woman of few words,
I'm a talker
unless
too.
I'm ranting.
Yes. Well, I guess we can wish the people a happy holiday.
Oh yes, happy holidays. Eat some turkey and ham and all that good stuff for me. Um, yeah, enjoy your families.
And if you are not and have not been known to be a free thinker, do yourself a favor and start thinking freely. Don't allow anyone to just give you or tell you anything. We say this every week. Take the information that we share and go check us. Go fact check us. You see, we try to bring things up directly from the source. But you always, the way that a person can't trick you is when you're able and you know the information for yourself. Okay? So we appreciate you guys. Y'all, we've been a little nice and rough today, but it's very much so needed. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. May God bless and keep y'all. May you have a happy holiday. And this has been Monique J.
'92 Stag.
And we are the Proud Mary Podcast, where we give it to you nice
Yes.
when we can and rough when we
Rough
must.
when we must.
See y'all later.